The holidays are supposed to bring us together, but for many families, they end up feeling rushed and stressed and exhausted, right? My next guest says it doesn't have to be that way, especially during the holidays. So today we're talking with Thrive and Shine licensed marriage and family therapist Catherine Falcon about how to shift holiday traditions into maybe simple rituals instead that build connection without the burnout to go along with it. Good morning.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here. Happy holidays.
Yes,
so many families say the holidays leave them exhausted, like we just talked about, instead of joyful, which I think is the reason for the season. And so how do we keep from feeling drained, and why do you think so many people feel drained during this time of year?
Yeah, so if you think about it, I mean, we're the week of Christmas, right? And we're still working this week. Some families are still doing their jobs. I mean, schools are out typically, but we have work, we have travel plans, we have how many people do not have Christmas gifts wrapped?
Listen, well, some of them are still at the store.
And that's the thing, is that there's so much that go into this on top of our day-to-day life. And so that's why families feel a lot of stress, because we've got this added on top of what's normal.
Exactly, but then you stack on top those traditions as well, trying to make those family memories, which of course you want to do. You want to make sure that you bring the magic and the joy, especially for the little ones, but sometimes it can be at a detriment to yourself, right? So what are traditions really meant for, and how do we know if they're serving us or if it's time to maybe let it go? It was of the past and maybe it's not serving us going into the future.
Definitely. So traditions are to bring us together, to help our family feel like a unit, right? That's why we have them. And if they're making you feel stressed, if they are basically like one of those holiday movies where everybody's losing it, we need to say goodbye to it. It's time for us to let it go.
Okay, so what do you mean by shifting traditions to rituals? What does that look like, and why is that shift so powerful, do you think?
So one of the things I always say is maybe we don't think of things as terms of traditions, but we do it as rituals, right? And so what rituals are intentional small acts to connect us. So it can be anything from just taking a walk together, to doing a certain story at bedtime, to, you know, one of those where it's like, hey, let's get a new book every Christmas Eve, and that's the book that we read.
Okay, I like this. It's kind of just putting a different spin on it, so you don't feel as pressured in a way to do it. Okay, I like that. That's a good point. Now, you also point out that you want it to be small and consistent, and those matter more than maybe a big holiday extravaganza, just one big one, right?
Correct.
I like that. Okay, so very good. Make sure everybody's writing this down because we're just a couple of days out, you guys. Now, often we feel pressure, and I think I just talked about this, about bringing that magic, and so how do we make sure that we continue to do so, but also knowing that kids sometimes, I think we think that they need more than they actually do. So how do we know where that line is ourselves?
Yeah. So really what kids need is us, right? They need to feel connected. They need to feel like, okay, my parents or my loved ones or my aunt, my uncle, they have time for me, right? And so we want to make sure that we carve that time out, we have that time with them, and that's really what kiddos need. So that magic comes with them getting to spend time with us.
We're the magic.
Yeah.
Exactly. I like that. Look that. You guys, you woke up with it. You woke up like this, okay? The magic is already within you. What is one thing we can enact today, or families can enact this week as we get closer to Christmas to prevent that exhaustion and bring in more connection?
So think of one thing that you want to do with your family, right? One small thing. So when I say one thing, I don't mean like, you know, let's get crazy with it. One small thing that you want to do with your family that can actually connect you. Think of one small thing.
One small thing. And you know what? You can get the kids involved as well.
Yes, you can.
Give them something to think about. Maybe even a prompt. They're out of school right now. Maybe we could write it down on a sentence sheet. And you know, that takes up 45 minutes of their day right there.
Right there.
I love it. This is great information. Tell us where we can find you.
Yes, thriveshineco.com.
There we go. All right, you guys. Like she said, the website is on your screen. Great information. Thank you again, Catherine. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Happy holidays.